Okay, good morning everyone again. I think probably while we are waiting for the presentation to upload, I'll just give you a quick introduction of myself and of what I do. My presentation is not going to be very standard. I want us to all interact because the topic that I'm talking about is actually the tourism in Africa, harnessing the potential of African tourism. And I'm sure you all have a strong opinion on that. So I would love to hear from all of you and obviously get your input at some point as well. As I said, my name is Albena Jones. I'm half African and half European. My father was a doctor, medical doctor from South Sudan. And my mother is from Bulgaria. She was a mechanical engineer. So it's a bit of a weird combination, but he was a student, a medical student in Bulgaria, and that's how they actually met with my mom, and I'm the result. So I was born in Bulgaria, but then I went to the UK, and I've lived in London for 17 years. Then I went back to Bulgaria to obviously pass on my knowledge, everything that I learned in London. I'm going to talk about tourism because tourism is my degree and that's my first love, let's put it that way. Though I ended up later in life doing something completely different. I did start with diploma in airline and travel studies from Greenwich University, and my first job was actually in travel. I worked for Balkan Bulgarian Airlines, in London, and then for various corporate travel organizations. So this is why I've got a very good knowledge and expertise on the travel and tourism industry, and I feel that Africa has got the greatest potential that is underdeveloped, as we will see in the presentation. What else about me? So I've got vast business knowledge because as a travel agent I ended up working as the Bloomberg financial travel agent, and we were an implant in the Bloomberg building in London. And when they found out about all the languages that I speak, they said, well, why don't you come and work for us? And I was like, I don't know what you guys do. I don't have a financial degree, I'm not an economist, so I've got absolutely no idea about what all this is. I'm here to kind of, book your tickets, your hotels. And they said, oh, okay. Then in about 6 months, this is when Eastern Europe started really developing. And obviously being born in Bulgaria and brought up there, I do speak Bulgarian, I do speak Russian. From my time in Africa, I learned a little bit of Arabic as well. So as the Eastern European markets were developing, they said, well, please do come and work for us, because then the EU hadn't happened yet. So business with Russia was booming. And they made me an offer which was like 3 times my wages as their travel agent. And they said, we're going to train you in the first year. You're actually going to be working for us. And we will be training you. So I would have been stupid to refuse that. So I started from being a Bloomberg travel agent. I became a Bloomberg financial analyst, which was quite good. Are we ready? Nearly there? Okay. So you're going to be listening to me for longer. And this is how I ended up spending about 10 years in Bloomberg, and I really learned a lot about the financial markets. I got the vast business experience that I have today. With all that knowledge, previously in travel and then in finance, I did decide to go back to Bulgaria. Circumstances were such, and I wanted to pass on my knowledge to everyone there. I think, we're ready to start, okay. So as you can see, harnessing Africa's tourism potential is what I'm going to talk about. If you play, it kind of rolls, but when we're stopping it, if I do this, can we stop it? Because I don't have a remote at the moment. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to, pause it please, look at the current situation in Africa. So these are the main points, the current situation and the underdeveloped potential of the African continent. As you can see, the current statistics is that Africa has gained 65% of the tourism that actually existed before the pandemic. As we all know, COVID killed the tourism industry. No one could fly anywhere, no one could go anywhere, and Africa is the continent. Sorry, could you pause it, please? Thank you. That has the quickest regain of visitors, because Africa is the undiscovered continent. So everyone really has discovered the potential of Africa, not only the business potential, but the tourism potential as well. And it's a very, very popular destination, as we will see. But sadly, the Africans are probably not realizing that, and we are not utilizing the potential that is there. There's basically so much that can be done, but everyone is focusing on politics, everyone is focusing on oil, and people are not focusing on the God-given riches of the continent, which needs to be developed. So looking at the current situation, we are going to look at the top 10 destinations. This is the latest statistics. So I was going to ask here for some guesses, but the screen has already given us the #1 destination for Africa, and this is actually Egypt. So as we go through, we have the Egyptians in the house that are clapping already. So if you hear your country or a country that you have visited in the top 10, which are already, can we slow them down a little bit or just keep pausing so we can go together through the countries, please? So if we can kindly go back. Yes, Egypt is in the house. Okay, let's do the next one. South Africa. Any South Africans? Next year. Okay, let's go. Tanzania, as we know, the amazing animal world in Tanzania, which we will also talk about that. Kenya, you can't tell me there's no Kenyans in the house. Where are the Kenyans? Well done. Okay, great. Tunisia is in the top 5 as well. And then we have Ghana. I think there's Ghanaians here. Thank you. Ethiopia, Morocco. Of course, Namibia. Beautiful safaris in Namibia. And the last one is Uganda. So this is the current top 10 in tourism in Africa. All these countries have got something to offer, but as I said, we are not utilizing what Africa has. So what I've listed is the obvious, the nature and the animals. Can we have the next slide? So, beautiful nature. What we see in Africa, we don't have anywhere else in the world, as you know. Besides nature, we have the animals. Can someone tell me what are the top 5 animals in Africa? The big 5, as they call them in Kenya.
Lion.
Lion, okay, that's one.
Giraffe.
Elephant, 2. Giraffe, no.
Crocodile.
Crocodile, no.
Mosquito.
Oh, come on. Come on, look, the screen is now helping us. So, we were missing the rhino, the buffalo, exactly, and the leopard. So, as we can see at the moment on the screen, these are our top 5, and we have them in Kenya and in Tanzania. So, please do remember them. We're Africans, we must know what are the top 5. Animals are there, which you cannot see anywhere else in the world. And as we know, and as we saw, that Kenya, Tanzania, the countries that have those animals have a big share of the tourism industry, because they have the animals there, but there is a lot more to Africa than its animals. And in terms of development, these are the 3 points that, through my own research, I think is what is going to bring the development of Africa forward. We have adventure tourism, beach tourism, and sports development. So if we look at the adventure tourism, first of all, we can see that there is so many activities that can be done, but no one is probably doing. And as we'll hear this afternoon, we have the ladies here from Carta Holiday. They are a Bulgarian company, but they have realized the potential of the African tourism. And with my help, they are looking for the underdeveloped tourist destinations. So besides the obvious Egypt, Kenya, Tanzania, their agency is doing something unique. Even during the pandemic, they organized trips to Zanzibar because there was no closure there because of COVID. So this is the kind of input that we really need. We need to develop the adventure tourism. There is so much that can be done besides the traditional safaris. We also have the beach tourism. We're running a little bit ahead, so if we can slow it down, please. We can go back to the beach. Thank you. It's not only... Help me with the beach destinations in Africa. Where do we have beaches in Africa? Anyone? Come on, help me out. In Alexandria, okay, so Egypt. Yes, you in Egypt, you guys have everything. You have the pyramids, you have the beaches, diving, everything. This is why you're number 1. However, there are beaches in South Africa, as we know, in Kenya. We've got Malindi, Mombasa, which are great beach destinations.
Gambia.
And Gambia, of course. Last year, all of us were in Gambia, and we really enjoyed the Voice Achievers Award in Gambia, and we enjoyed the beach as well. So, you know, after the conference, we would all go to great restaurants and enjoy the local beaches. So, thank you for reminding me. But funny enough, Nigeria has them as well. And you people are not doing anything about it. Where are the Nigerians in the house?
We are here.
Aha! Look, so many of you. So, what's up with that? When I went to Lagos, I was amazed at the beautiful beaches that you have in Lagos. And the Nigerian coast is obviously, because of the Atlantic, I guess, it's got these big waves.
Yeah.
So it's not somewhere where you can, like in the Caribbean, as you would confirm, our Caribbean friends here, you cannot just go for a casual, nice swim and have the lovely fish around you. In Nigeria, you have those big waves, which is excellent for what?
Surfing.
Thank you, Ken. See, you know it. Why aren't you people doing it? You're working on it. Come on. Come on. You're losing money. See, all these surfers, why do they have to go all the way to South Africa or wherever? They can easily enjoy all kinds of windsurfing. They have all these new kinds of surfs, like paragliding, whatever they are. That can easily be done in Nigeria, and the beaches are beautiful. And there weren't even restaurants. I think there was like one small coffee shop in a hut, and that was it. It's like, what? If this is in Europe, it would be like that. Everyone would be there. No one was lying on the beach, no one was walking on the beach. So beautiful and romantic. See, this is just a vivid example that beach tourism could be absolutely great. And the next is the sports development. Now, when we think about sports in Africa, everyone thinks, oh, young talents, yes, basketball players, footballers, all these young kids, they want to go and play abroad. This is the focus. Well, I'm sorry, but this is wrong. Instead of outbound, it should be inbound. Why not attract the rest of the world and the Europeans to come to Africa and to watch these kids play? Keep those kids, keep the talent in Africa. I think possibly our friends from Egypt again are going to vouch for that, but they have excellent sports facilities. They have halls, arenas, where basketball tournaments can be organized. I'm sure a lot of the countries have got big, massive stadiums where we can have all kinds of world championships, athletics, football. Why is that given to the rest of the world and not to Africa? So it will be much cheaper as well. My opinion, I mean, as you know, we have great basketball players, but they're all abroad. We have great football players from Africa. Again, they're all abroad. You see an African sports person winning gold for the Netherlands. There's nothing wrong with that. We love it. But, you know, we know the origin of that person is not from the Netherlands, but is from Africa. So let's all do it for ourselves before we do it for others. Or let's have an equal share. There's nothing wrong with going abroad and making money, but we can make that money and we can actually make even more money and more development to Africa if we structure it properly and we keep it in the continent. So these are the top three that I think we should really focus on when we talk about the development of tourism. And the next slide, please. Right. This statistics is very current, and you can see what has happened to the tourism in 2021, and this is a prediction up to 2025. You can see that in 2022, obviously, something was done right. We don't know what it is, but we can see this great increase in the tourism in Africa, which is straight after COVID. People want nature. People want to be in touch with nature. People want fresh fruits. They want some new perspective. In supermarkets, when we go, what are the most expensive products? There is a section that is, what section is that? With the natural products. They say, oh, this is bio whatever. So you are actually paying 2, 3 or 4 euro more for something that is free-range chicken eggs or plants that are grown I don't know where, and this is all because it's natural. Well, in Africa it is natural, and the rest of the world has realized that, and they're getting it at a bargain price as well. So this is why in 2022 we can see there was a big jump in the tourism industry. This is the current statistics for this year. As you can see, there's a bit of a decline. And look what they're predicting for the future, that it's going to start dropping. We don't want that to happen. So it really depends on all of us to implement the ideas, be it surfing in Nigeria, be it eco-lodges, which is the next thing that I'm going to talk about and share as an idea, as a project that I think Africans should focus on more. We have to maximize the ecotourism. So this is the main point, and this is my main advice as a financial analyst over the year, as somebody who lives in Europe. I travel a lot, and I can see what people want. I mean, COVID has taught us that really we need to live healthy. We need to be together, and we need to do what makes us happy. And Africa is the continent of the future. Can you pause that for a second? Yeah, too far. So, next one. Okay. Last year when we were in Gambia, I presented my back to basics theory, which is something completely different. I'm not going to talk about it now, but just to say that back to basics, I encourage people really to go back into the past. The world we live in is so fast-paced. Everyone is talking about technology, everyone is talking about, I'm not going to say all the rest of the things, but you know what I mean. Now, even if you want to write something, you just ask, and it's all written for you. You don't have to use your brain. And this is what our young ones are taught, which is actually wrong. We need to go back to the virtues of the past. look at how our ancestors did things. We need to teach our young ones to do a replication of that. So, if we look at eco-lodges, do you know what an eco-lodge is? Anyone? Eco-hotels?
Yes.
Excellent. The Caribbean, they're doing it already. So, this is something that will really attract people. This is like a time travel back into the past. There it should say no technology, so I apologize for my assistant that wrote the presentation bit. No technology, only serenity of nature and physical activities. So you would do, instead of watching television, you'd probably go fishing or something like that. Simplification for maximum fulfillment is what I would encourage. And this is it really. I think my time is up. I'm being told that, but we can speak more again. So thank you very much for your attention.
Yeah, thank you very much.